Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to get our hands dirty. We're taking something you probably have in your recycling bin. Yep, a simple plastic soda bottle, and we are turning it into a seriously high-flying rocket. So let's figure out how to turn this piece of trash into a treasure that basically touches the sky. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The source material for this explainer promises that you are guaranteed to be amazed. Because this isn't just some little craft project. It is a front row seat to the thrill of seeing real science come to life, right in your own backyard. So, that brings us to the big question, right? How is this even possible? How can a little 500 milliliter bottle with just a bit of water and some air generate enough force to shoot over 30 meters into the sky? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the surprising power packed into this tiny rocket. Then we get practical with a shopping list and a step-by-step guide. After that, it's countdown to launch, a deep dive into the science, and finally, we'll see how this same idea powers everything from squid to actual spacecraft. First up, a bottle that flies? Let's talk about just how powerful this little rocket can be. You might think, a bigger bottle means a bigger flight, but that's not always how it works. Just think about this for a second. A simple 500 milliliter soda bottle can fly higher than 30 meters. To put that into perspective for you, that's almost as tall as a 10-story building. This is just the perfect balance of power and portability, perfect for a park or a schoolyard. Okay, you ready to build one? Awesome. Every good recipe starts with a list of ingredients, and this rocket is no different. Let's gather up the simple and mostly cheap materials you are going to need. You've probably got most of this lying around the house already. Bottles, tape, a straw, scissors. There are just a few key items you might need to track down. A number 6 rubber stopper, an air pump needle, a wire hanger for your launch pad, and this is super important, an air pump that has a pressure gauge on it. Now listen up, because this is a huge pro tip, straight from the source. You have to use bottles made for carbonated drinks. Why is that so important? Well, they are specifically built to be stronger, to handle all that pressure we're about to pump into them. A regular water bottle just can't take it, and honestly, it could be unsafe. All right, we've got our materials, so it's time to build this thing. This next part is your step-by-step guide for turning all those simple parts into a sleek, awesome, functional rocket. Before we dive in, you've actually got a choice to make. The standard build takes about 50 minutes, and it uses the second plastic bottle to make really durable fins. But if you're short on time, say in a classroom or something, you can use cardstock for the fins and get the whole thing done in just 30 minutes. Your call. The build really boils down to 4 main stages. First, we start with a little careful demolition, cutting up that second bottle to get our nose cone and the material for the fins. Next, we get a little crafty, pressing and folding that plastic into 4 awesome-looking fins. Stage 3 is assembly, taping everything securely onto the main bottle, and finally, the most important bit, and this is one for an adult, carefully drilling a hole through the rubber stopper for that air intake. And just like that, your rocket is built. Now for the best part. Let's switch gears from construction to the countdown as we get ready for liftoff. Getting this rocket to fly is actually incredibly simple. First, you add a little bit of water. That's your fuel. We'll talk about the perfect amount in just a second. Second, you seal the bottle really firmly with your stopper. Third, slide the rocket's little guide straw onto your wire hanger launch pad. And finally, connect the pump and start pumping. When the pressure gets high enough, that stopper is going to pop and lift off. But hold on. Before you do that, we absolutely have to talk safety. This part is non-negotiable. Always, and I mean always, wear safety goggles. Use that pump with the pressure gauge and do not go over 4 atmospheres of pressure. And of course, launch this thing in a wide open area far away from any people. Safety first makes the fun last, right? Okay, so you've built it, you've launched it, and you've seen it fly. But why? How does it actually work? It's time to pull back the curtain and look at the actual science of flight.
The secret sauce behind this rocket's flight all comes down to one really cool principle: the conservation of momentum. You probably know it better as Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The rocket pushes a bunch of water down and out with a lot of force, so the water pushes the rocket up with that same amount of force. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's powerful.
So how do you get the best flight possible? Well, it all comes down to tweaking a few key things. For the water, you want a moderate amount, not too little, or there's nothing to push out for thrust, and not too much because then it's just dead weight. For your launch angle, you want to aim for that sweet spot right around 45 to 50 degrees to get the most distance. And the fins? Yep, the experiments show that 4 fins give you the most stable, straightest flight. And here's a really cool little science bonus you can see for yourself. After the rocket launches, take a quick peek inside the bottle. You might see a little puff of a white cloud. That's a phenomenon called adiabatic expansion. Basically, as the high-pressure air inside suddenly expands, its temperature drops like a rock, causing the water vapor to condense into a tiny, visible cloud. How cool is that?
You know, this project might feel simple, but the science behind it is anything but. Let's zoom out a bit and see how this very same principle is at work all over the real world.
I mean, this idea is literally everywhere. You see it in the jet engines on an airplane, pushing hot gas backward to shove the plane forward. Nature figured this out ages ago. It's how squids and octopuses shoot through the ocean. You'll find it in high-speed water jet boats, in massive spacecraft engines, and even in futuristic ion engines on deep space probes. The core idea is always the same. Push something back to move yourself forward.
Which really brings us to our final thought. We just took a simple plastic bottle and uncovered the same principles that power everything from marine life to space exploration. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday objects are all around us, just hiding incredible science, waiting for a curious mind to come along and discover it?